Well, hi guys. I realized I haven't done a live on the old Instagram, on the old Gram in a while, and it's Friday night, and what better time to go live? Because not everyone goes out and parties Friday night, right? So if you are popping in and you see this, or if you see it later, put in the comments, what of these three things are your biggest struggle? Sleep, getting good quality sleep, whether it's like insomnia, like you can't get to bed, or waking up all the time, or just a restless sleep. 2, energy, sustained energy throughout the day. Do you get crashes? Or 3, is it weight? So of those 3 things, what is your top thing you struggle with? Sleep, energy, or weight? Because guess what? 100% of people interviewed with that question, 100% struggled with at least one of those things. 100%. So that's like everybody. So one of those 3 things is probably at least something you struggle with, maybe 2, for a lot of people 3. Because again, remember, America is the fattest, sickest, high income nation in the world. That's so not good. Okay, so not good. So here's a few things I want to talk about tonight. After you put that in the comments, kind of 2 things I wanted to just bring up. So one, being that America is the fattest, sickest, high income nation in the world, along with that also comes huge debt. All right, America has insane debt. Like when you look at, I don't even know what the current debt is, but it's a number that you look at and you don't even know what that means. Like I don't even care how like smart you are with math. Like that's not even a comprehensible number. Is that a word, comprehensible? Word, like number. Like it is not, like we do not have, like that's not real. We do not have that. I don't know how you come out of something that you don't even have. Like we're literally just playing with paper money, right? Monopoly money. But so 2 things, America's the fattest, sickest, high income nation in the world, but high income nation that is insanely in debt. So what that means is choices that Americans are making them the fattest and sickest and also the most in debt in a first world high income country. It's insane. And I personally think there's a lot of things behind that. I think there's entitlement. I think there's not great education for a lot of people. You know, how much learning did you really have in banking and investing and savings and, reading books like Robert Kiyosaki and, growing up? Me, none, literally none. Like I remember in high school, we learned how to balance our checkbook, and I took this accounting class on a computer that's still, because the internet wasn't even out yet with computers, and it was like old school computer with like the little orange cursor. And so that's one thing. So we make horrible health choices, yet we put ourselves in the most insane amount of debt. Now, here's what I'm wondering. People won't blink, bat an eye sometimes, oftentimes. They'll talk about not having money and don't have money, and then they're like booking some really luxurious vacation, or they're going to some super expensive concert and getting, going, traveling, getting a couple nights in a hotel, eating out, drinking it up. And then they come back and wonder why they feel fat, sick, unhealthy, and have no money. Now, that is how, this isn't like we've all been taught this. We were all brought up this way. So to a point, this is no fault of your own. You've been taught this standard of this is normal. This is what you do. Yeah, take out this insanely huge loan for a home. It's no problem. You'll pay it off. Take out this $50,000, take out this huge loan for a $50,000 car. Oh, you make $42,000 a year. It's fine. No, it's not fine. But we have been programmed to think that's fine. So people do it. But then they feel terrible and they're in debt. So then a small population of people come around that do something like what I do and I've done for 20 years. Because it's different. And I'm telling you, I have never been like, I have never chosen a different path in life often because I wanted to be the odd one out. That I wanted people to look at me weird or to talk about me or think I was crazy or conspiracy or all these things. No, I did it because it felt natural to me because everything else seemed so ridiculous. Like, you know, these outcomes in our health industry are getting worse and worse and worse. And that people are like, well, better go to my doctor, see what's... Do you think maybe there's some other alternative ways that you do? It doesn't mean you give up everything you know, but that maybe you need to pivot and take a little spin and try something different. So then say you are the person here that's like, yeah, I really struggle with fatigue. Really, really struggle with fatigue. Or yeah, I have put on like, I keep putting on like 5 pounds every year or 10 pounds every year, whatever it is. I cannot lose it. I've tried everything. I'm tired and I'm broke. Or I have a lot of debt. Okay. Some people will not necessarily talk about being broke because maybe they make a good income, but they have $150,000 in debt. No, you're not making any money. Until you get that debt paid off, you are not making any money. Okay. And even then, I mean, let's just talk about our nation's debt. So now someone comes along with an alternative that is proven to work, that some of the biggest names in the world that deal with either health or finances, but let's just specifically talk about finances. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates. I don't even like saying that one, but there's other people, but Warren Buffett's one that stands out, literally saying that this business network marketing is the most legit business of the future. And if they now knew what they knew now about it back then, they would have told their younger self, get into that now. Okay. So, and you see it every day. I continue to show people every day, myself included, like ways to make money in bigger amounts in time with less of your time. So more time to actually enjoy life because you get one life. You can't go back. So someone brings up that option to you and you just shut down. You ghost them, you ignore them. You don't even acknowledge it, or you immediately say, I'm not interested. Or, ooh, I hate sales. Ooh, I hate sales. It's so ick. So cringe. Okay, well, you know what's ick and cringe? Being the fattest, sickest, high-income nation in the world, feeling miserable, and being in debt. And then thinking that what you're currently doing and what the majority is pushing at you is going to fix that problem. And here's the thing. It doesn't mean everyone's going to go quit their 9-to-5 jobs because we need pastors and teachers and doctors and nurses and all the people that do 9-to-5. We need all that. But what are you doing from your 5 to 9? What are you doing from your 5 to 9? Because you may even love your job. You may love what you do. And I love that for people. I love that. Don't ever quit what you love doing. But it might still not be cutting it. It still might not be cutting what you need to get everything paid. You might have more month at the end of your month than you do money, right? So what do a lot of people then do from their 5 to 9? They come home, they're exhausted, maybe eat some supper, go watch their kids' sports, scroll, watch TV, scroll. And so, first of all, when people will say something like, well, that sounds great for you, but I don't have any time. I couldn't even do that if I wanted to because I don't have any time. Okay. Nobody has time if they look at it from the sense of all of our obligations. Like, don't think that myself having 4 kids from senior in college down to 12, being a pastor's wife, having, 2 churches that I have to be between a lot with obligations and, no. And then there's people that are like, well, I have this. My kid's in 12 sports. I'm taking care of my mom. My grandma's sick, Yep, I know. Everyone is seriously super busy. I get that. But I guarantee you, Now, not everyone. I will not say 100% people, because you can never say everyone. You can never say everyone. You can never say all the time. You can never say always. Those are words that people overuse all the time. Forget what we call that, but like that is not true. It's not always that, but it can be often, like, and a lot. Those people are still finding time to be on the internet, scroll, be on Twitter, give their opinion, do this, do that, watch movies. And that's really in the end wasted time. So I applaud the people who like aren't on social media at all, ever, don't even have an account. Right there, like if they're not working something in that amount of time that's going to be like for their future, their kids' future, great. Like you're doing something present. But most people have some kind of social media account and they are scrolling. And that is literally the most wasted use of your time ever. Because if it's scrolling to just complain about politics, or it's scrolling just to sit and shop or laugh at memes all day long, again, comedy is great. I love laughing. But how much? I dare you to go look in your settings and go look at your screen time. I just dare you to go do that. So what if you could still do that stuff? Like if you still wanted to be, if you still had like a thing you just needed to be on your phone, what if you could make like 90% of that time helping people and making money? It works. It works. It's legal. And it's funny to me that like you could be sitting and watching a commercial and an ad comes up about your metabolism and how you can lose weight and join this program for $39.99 a month. And it shows a box. And, you know, there's people that are like, oh, where's paper and pen? I got to write that down. I got to order that. You don't know where it came from. You don't know who's behind this company. You don't know what's in it. You don't know who certified it, probably if it's certified. You don't know, you don't jack crap about this company, and yet you'll jump on that. But a good friend or a good family, or even just an acquaintance, just someone that you know, maybe you don't ever hang out, but you know them, suggest something different because they actually know the company, they know the quality, they know the certification, and they also know how it can benefit your family financially too. Because you know what? When I go to Target or Walmart or any other store, Amazon, I just ordered a dress on, well, actually I returned it. But when does Amazon, has anyone from Amazon ever called you and said, hey, how was that dress? Did it fit? Did you like it? Was it comfortable? Okay. Yeah, well, oh, it was a little tight here. Okay. Well, you know what? Why don't you return that and we'll get you another one sent out on us? You know, never, ever, ever. I mean, Walmart, most of the time, I just go and check myself out while the kid stands there and watches me. There's definitely no customer service going on there. So you can have something that is proven to work, scientifically proven to work. It is like someone you actually trust over just an ad on the TV is telling you maybe you could try this, and you immediately put up a wall. So my question with all of that is, why do you think that is? If you are one of those people, so obviously if you end up watching this and you're like me and you're in network marketing and you're an educator and things like that, or you're a health and wellness educator, you're going to be, this is what my brother always says, smelling what I'm stepping in. It's funny. Anyway, you're going to be getting it. Okay. You're going to be, seeing what I'm, hearing what I'm throwing down, whatever. So that question is not for you guys. The question is for the people who are those people that are like, yeah, like, don't come in my inbox and ask me anything. Like, we can talk about stupid jokes and the weather and politics, but don't ever approach me about something that could help my health and that you're making some money on, but I could also make money on it too. Don't you dare. And I'm gonna like make, I know you see that I see it, but I'm just going to ignore you. Why? I guess I'm asking a psychology question here. Why? Like, what is the fear factor between that? Because that person is still going to be your friend. I mean, if they're not, then they never really were your friend. But here's the deal. I've done this for 20 years, in and out. So if you've known me for 1 month or 6 months or 2 years or 10 years or 19 and a half years, I am the same person. I've always done this. I'm not always necessarily right in it. I was in a company for a long time. I took some time off. I got sick, whatever. But this is who I am. I am passionate about health. I have had my own hell and back health struggles that I want to keep in check so I can be here for my family. I want to be able to help other people who have that problem too. And I want to help people get and stay out of debt. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. And that's who I am. So if I had never approached you about that in 10 years, and then I approached you and you immediately put up a wall, I just wonder, where does that come from? And obviously you don't have to put it down here, or you could. But I'm trying to overall understand that, how we will put our trust sometimes so much in something or someone we have no idea who they are, anything about them. Do you feel safer doing that? Do you feel, what is it? Usually we're fearful of things because we are fearful of inviting judgment. So are you fearful? Again, I'm not trying to put ideas in your head, but I'm just trying to wonder, are you fearful that this person that you know or you care about is going to judge you for not doing it? Is it safer if the ad comes on your TV day after day, or your computer or your phone, or, you talk about Nikes and then 30 seconds later there's a Nike ad in front of you. But you'll still buy Nike because it's Nike, right? But is it because you also don't care if Nike doesn't care? Is that it? Do you think you're going to be judged that you don't care about your health, or that, I don't know, I'm just trying to wonder. Because the fact of the matter is that people want to be healthy, and people need money to live. And if you could do that in a way that didn't require you to work 50 hours a week on someone else's timetable for somebody else, and oftentimes doing something that maybe you don't even enjoy. Now, again, there's people out there that love being a doctor, they love being a nurse, they love being a teacher, and that is their vocation, and they love it, and they're never going to quit, and that's great. But there are so many people out there literally just working to death to get a paycheck, and they hate what they do. They try to find, a way to tolerate it, and they make some friends at work and stuff, but overall, it's such a waste of time if you don't like it at all. And for such little money. I saw this video, I shared it the other day. It was super powerful to me. It was this guy, maybe you guys have seen it. He's a young kid, and he's standing on the sidewalk in busy city, I don't know. And this guy comes around, he's like, hey, I want to pay you for just standing here in this. And it was big cement, sidewalk blocks. He's like, you just have to stand here all day long and just stand here, and I'm going to pay you. And he's like, oh, sweet, because it was decent money. So it showed this video, this college kid, and he would get money for just standing there all day long, doing nothing. And then it was years would go by, and this guy would come back out again and be like, you're doing great, I'm really proud of you. And he's like, thanks, and then he'd give him another raise or whatever. And then it goes on, and then finally, he said, all right, guess what? I'm going to move you. And so he's like, really? And he moves him 20 feet down the block and puts him in this way big, well, it wasn't way big, it was probably 3 feet by 3 feet blocked area. And he's like, you get this now. He's like, oh, sweet. This is really all this. He's like, oh, and I can see the bridge from here. Sweet. He's like, yep. And he gives him a little bit more money. And then the end of it is this guy that's white hair, just old and still standing in the same spot. And then this guy with the suit comes out again. The guy with the suit never aged. And he's like, all right, we really appreciate you being here for all these years. And, you get this package now and this severance and stuff. And he's like, okay. He's like, but I really want to retire now. And the guy's just like, I don't know what he said at the end. It was just something thanks again for all your work or something like that. And I was like, hot dang. There are literally so many jobs that you feel this is the biggest waste of my time. And imagine if that's what you did your entire life, and now you're 70 and you have white hair and you can't get any of that time back. You missed all this time. You could have been doing stuff with people that you loved, or, going on those mission trips, or being more involved in your church, or being at more of your kids' events, or just more present in the home in general because you weren't so freaking stressed out all the time, that you had some more energy for your kids. Do you know that stress comes from always thinking of the future? being present is peace. You can only really be peaceful in the present, because if you are continually thinking about what's ahead and what you don't know what's coming, you're in a state of stress. But if you are just being, that is where you're going to find peace. And if you look back and you think all that time of my being was just standing in this 3x3 square in the middle of downtown New York to get a paycheck, what was the paycheck for? What did I do with it? So again, this resonates with probably 2 to 3% of people in the whole world. It probably excites a bigger percentage of that, maybe for a little bit. And then they get back in that grind of fear, judgment. What are people going to think if I'm just not doing what everyone else is doing? I worked in college. I'm going to wrap this up. I worked in college at this place that, kind of a popular place, but I won't say what place. Because, in college, you'd work literally in summer, I would work 3 jobs. I would work this job, a waitressing job, and then sometimes part-time at a nursing home, doing cafeteria work, whatever. And it was exhausting because it's literally all I did. And just to try to get enough money to maybe pay for the next year of college, with a loan, of course, too. And this one place I worked, you obviously got lower, entry-level position because you're just a college kid. And, you're not going to be any totem pole up at this place. But it was a place that made food, like sandwiches and stuff like that. Frozen sandwiches, and then they would get sent off to different places. Okay, it started 4:30 in the morning. First of all, I'm not a morning person. That was awful. Second of all, it was in summer. So in summer in Wisconsin, it's usually hot and humid. And I'd get there and it was refrigerator temperature. So you had to be in, sweatshirt, layers, hat or a headband. You would have liked to have had gloves on, but you couldn't because you're working with food. So literally your fingers were I just remember having numb fingers sometimes because I was always put on the frozen stuff because again, entry level. And so I was picking up frozen patties and putting them on these buns and assembly line work. It's just literally I Love Lucy assembly line. And I hated it. Oh my goodness, I hated it so much. But I needed money, right? Because I was going to go to college and I was going to be a teacher and I was going to love that. And then I did that and I was I do not want to teach little children. I love kids and I have 4 of my own and they're precious in His sight and I love children, have the children. But I did not want to teach children. It's just not my calling. But anyway, I also knew I am not going to stay in this job. It motivated me for more. Now, again, this is not cutting down people. If you love that, if you love going to work from 4:30 to 2 in the afternoon in a darkish, freezing cold factory making sandwiches that go into machines, if you love that, oh my goodness, go for it. Most people would not, day in and day out, for not the best pay, okay? Well, it was either that or being in a bakery, and I didn't want to go from hot to hotter because I hate being hot too. Whatever. So all I knew is I'm going to work hard, so this isn't my only option in life because I was miserable doing it. Again, please hear me out. If you love doing that, then keep doing it. Now, at the same time, I'm going to say this is not healthy food. This was completely processed, packaged, bleached, bromated, high fructose corn syrup, ultra processed food. So I'm going to go ahead and say too, that would have been at least if I could have been in a factory making really healthy food for people, I would have felt somewhat better about myself. But you're literally just packaging up crap to contribute to our fattest, sickest, high income nation. So nothing of that job was nice. And so what I'm saying is, if that's you, if you're working in some kind of job that you're getting zero fulfillment from, and if you want to be in something that can actually help other people, help your own health, help your family, and give you more time, let's talk. That's all I'm saying. Let's talk. Okay, I'm going to go watch a basketball game now. I hope you guys have a great night.
see.